예, 안녕하십니까. 기조 세션 2의 좌장을 맡은 한국전자통신연구원 진흥화융합연구소 소장을 맡고 있습니다. 김형준입니다. 인사드리겠습니다. 이번 기조 세션 2에서는 ITU 표준화 총국장으로 재직 중에 계신 이재섭 박사님을 모시고 기조 강연을 듣는 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 기조 강연의 제목은 AI for Good for Hope라는 제목의 주제 강연을 진행을 하실 예정이고요. 잠깐 간단하게 이재섭 박사님의 양력을 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다. 이재섭 박사님은 현재 국제전기통신연합의 표준화 총국장으로 재직 중에 계시고 카이스트의 IT 융합연구소 전문위원 그리고 과거 미래창조과학부의 장관 정책 자문관을 역임하신 바 있습니다. 이재섭 박사님의 발표 말씀을 큰 박수로 경청하도록 하겠습니다.
Distinguished colleagues and friends, I thank you for the kind invitation to address you today, and I hope that you and your families are all in good health and good spirits. I'd like to start congratulations to TTA, organized GISC 2021 with the theme K-Digital Hope, ICT standards. Today, I'd like to introduce how AI for good relevant with K-Digital Hope. AI and machine learning have come to influence many fields of industries and our daily lives, definitely ITU's technical work as well. My speech today will organize as following the three parts. I understand hope means healing, opportunity, platform, and environment. A single word, hope, as an acronym gives impression, good signal for the future. And the words by each acronym demonstrates detailed areas to challenge by ICT standards. I like this theme. We easily noticed a word hope aligned with the objective of Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations. Detailed areas are also covered in various goals as shown in this slide. So therefore, this trial of introducing AI for good would provide global perspectives for implementing of HOPE, H-O-P-E. So I wish this will be helpful for these discussions. ITU's AI for Good events look forward the guiding lights of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Our aim is to achieve breakthrough able to improve all people's lives everywhere in the world. We are helping new partners to build AI for good projects that we can launch today for long-term global impact. Recently, TTA also joined as a partner, so TTA specific event on the AI for good will be organized at 2nd and 7th of December this year. I'd like to invite all of you to join this event. So how can AI help to advance the SDGs? A recent study in Nature shows that AI can directly impact and enable the accomplishment of 134 targets across all the 17 goals as shown in this slide. For example, AI can help map poverty from space, predict natural disasters, detect diabetes and skin cancer using a smartphone, provide customized learning programs, increase agricultural productions, reduce 1.3 million deaths annually on our roads, and detect fraud and fake news. So every day we see countless new promising use cases emerging through AI for good. But we must be cautious as it may also inhibit 59 targets, such as job loss, energy consumption, bias in decision-making, privacy loss, deepening the digital divide and more. AI has extraordinary potential to act as a force for good, but this will demand extensive international cooperation to achieve a more equitable distribution of AI and its benefit. This is a key point that I would like to reiterate. Everyone should consider how AI will affect our future as well as hope. AI will come to influence every aspect of social and economic activity. The questions raised by AI are asking us how we plan to live together harmoniously as an interconnected global society. These are questions to be considered by all of us as governments, as companies, as academia, as communities. So I think hope will also take into account these issues. The AI for Good movement is highly inclusive and highly targeted at global impact. Achieving global impact requires contributions with a global perspective, contributions driven by a diverse collection of expertise. Global impact demands new partnerships, and we continue to build these partnerships on the AI for Good platform. Inclusive dialogue helps new partners to understand their respective roles in nurturing emerging fields of innovation. It helps to clarify the contributions expected of all stakeholders, including the contribution expected of ITU. The goal of AI for Good is to identify practical applications of AI to advance the UN SDGs and scale those solutions for global impact. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, we can't do this alone. So this is why AI for Good was created in partnership with 38 UN sister agencies. This is virtually the entire UN system supporting and collaborating on AI for Good since year 2017. AI for Good is a multi-stakeholder, interdisciplinary, and intergenerational community platform that brings together UN agencies, industry, academia, civil society, NGOs, government officials, and even artists and athletes who all have a say in how we can shape a better future using AI. ITU welcomes you to join us. Responding to COVID, we quickly transformed the annual AI for Good Global Summit into an all-year online digital platform where people gather to learn, build, and connect. Since going virtual, we have reached over 150,000 people from over 170 countries and more than doubled the number of developing countries participating from 50 to over 100. This format also increased gender balance from about 35% to 45% women speakers. This has served to scale our mission, reach more people than ever before, be more inclusive, and generate more opportunities for real collaboration. This slide shows parts of our daily programs. I welcome you to visit the AI for Good website to see the many opportunities to participate. AI for Good is now presented as a year-long, as I explained, digital media and collaboration platform under 3 programming streams. The first, Learn, which features rich programming composed of leading keynotes, debate and discourse, expert talks, and interviews. Second, Build, where people use our platform to work on pre-standardization efforts, solve machine learning challenges, and pitch startup solutions. Our third, last but not least, and Connect, where people come to network, share knowledge, and best practices, both virtually and hopefully next year, physically again. From now on, I'll introduce a little more details on ITU's AI activities in the scope of ICT standards development. AI for Good movement has been highly influential in identifying the need for new ITU standards and in welcoming new expert communities to ITU to drive related studies. I offer an overview in this slide, and I will present in each of these activities in more detail over the course of my presentation. This slide showing these focus groups and initiative. Both this new focus group and the correspondence group were established in late October. Digital agriculture is very high potential areas for AI and IoT applications. Together, AI, IoT, connected services, and autonomous systems enable farmers to make decisions at the level of a single square meter or individual plant or animal rather than entire fields or all livestock. This precision allows well-informed interventions that ultimately improve agricultural sustainability by helping farmers produce more. The focus group is expected to pay particular attention to the requirements of developing countries where people's livelihoods are most reliant on agriculture. These are also the countries where digital solutions could provide the great gains in the sustainability and the resilience of agricultural production. Our ongoing webinar series on digital transformation for cities and communities is contributing to very large and fast-growing conversation about digital transformation and sustainable development. Looking at the topics being addressed, we see intersection of a wide variety of industries and public sector bodies. So we see why IT standardization has gained so many new stakeholders in recent years. This trend continues to accelerate. The work of our focus group on machine learning played a key part in the delivery of new IT standards for the integration of machine learning into 5G and the future networks. One key aspect of these standards is their focus on the future. These standards provide tool sets to enable machine learning integration into 5G and the future networks as these networks evolve, accounting for both the evolution of machine learning capabilities as well as the evolution of communication networks. The most important of our standards is the architecture framework for machine learning in networks. It has four main parts: 5G underlay, pipeline systems, sandbox, machine learning function orchestrator. A sandbox is a trial room for machine learning algorithms in the network. It allows testing of machine learning in networks using real data. Evaluation of AI models and its impact in the network can be done using simulators and network functions. Once the operator is satisfied with the testing, it could be deployed in the underlay network. The machine learning function orchestrator, MLFO, is a logical node that manages and orchestrated the nodes in a machine learning pipeline. If data is the blood flowing through the heart, that is machine learning, the machine learning function orchestrator is the brain. We are working towards the standardization of a framework and associated processes for benchmarking AI for health solutions. Performance benchmarking can provide metrics of great value to regulators. Currently, national health regulators are used to testing diagnostic tools, for example, microscopes, but not testing methods, for example, AI models. Like all software, AI solutions have a very dynamic update and release cycle, and the traditional certification processes will not scale. So as a result, AI models are not being certified and not being used. The benchmarking framework that the focus group on AI for health is developing will help the evolution of these certification models as we bring together all key stakeholders, regulators, AI experts, medical professionals, solutions providers, and academia. This focus group organized 5 working groups for challenge with 20 topics as shown in this slide. This slide is showing how this provides trustworthy AI for health. This model should be trustworthy, and we have training with test data. Most important part is must be of sufficient quality, like annotated data. And this slide is showing of this open code initiative provide AI for health assessment platforms. So this is offered the standardized test procedures and the metrics on high quality representatives and on disclosed data test sets, and offers of tools for data acquisition, data storing, and annotations. And this can be used by AI companies, regulators, and the doctors. This slide showing one of the software tools, showing of this annotation management. I don't want to touch on this all details. And this slide is showing over this our tools. And this slide is showing our delivery phase. The focus group identified 2 phases of delivery as shown in this slide. So phase 1 is a prototype. Phase 2 have 2 different steps, scale up and operational steps. This focus group is working towards the establishment of ITU standards for what could be considered an international driving permit for AI drivers. The right to hold this permit will be monitored consistently based on the behavioral performance of AI systems on the road. These are the specifications under development to monitor AI drivers' behavioral performance. Established in early October, the AI for Road Safety Initiative aims to strengthen global AI efforts across the public and private sectors to improve safety for all road users, whether they travel by automobile, motorcycle, bicycle, foot, or other emerging modes of transport. Faster progress on AI will be vital to make this happen, especially in low and middle income countries where the most lives are lost on the road each year. One key point I'd like to add is that this focus group pays particular attention to the needs of vulnerable and resource-constrained regions. One of its key priorities is to support the participation of the countries shown to be most severely impacted by natural disasters, notably small island developing states and low-income countries. The focus group AI for environmental efficiency, this focus group is studying new technologies potential to improve environmental efficiency, but also the negative externalities of new technologies that we must mitigate to ensure sustainable digital transformation. Partnerships are the name of the game when it comes to AI and data commons. So this global initiative assembles key resources for AI projects aligned with SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, supports rapid implementation, and aims to help bring AI for good projects to global scale. From now, I would like to have introduce a little more details about our AI machine learning in 5G challenge. It's nice to have standards on the paper. It's even better to put into practice. And to do that, we are organizing an international competition, which we call IQ AI Machine Learning in 5G Challenge. In this competition, teams from around the world compete in different problem statements submitted by partners. So why we need of this challenge? We're creating a community of value. We use the open source solutions to standard and provide practical solutions to network-related problems and engage, especially those academias and the research institutions in ITU's standard works. So students and the professionals, they engage to compete in problem and the solving with AI. And this challenge is last long several months, accompanied by expert talks and membership for students and prize with some money and best solutions presented at Grand Challenge Final and prize ceremony. This year, we are planned for this Grand Challenge at 14th December this year. As an example, at the last year challenges, we have 33 finalists. We actually have more than 1,300 participants on these contributions. We had 911 teams from 62 countries. We have regional hosts, around 11 regional hosts. We received 23 problem statements. Some solutions, AI machine learning solutions, we have around 100. So that is our result at the last year. More than 30 is GitHub repositories we did at the last year. So we expect better result in this year. So how to participate? So there are many ways. You become host of a problem statement, or you also participate and provide a solution to the specific problem statements. You may become sponsor. Also, you serve on the challenge management board, or you become judge panel. And also, you have to speak at Machine Learning 5G Discovery Series. So there are many ways how you participate in these machine learning challenges. So all this challenge is you can find this website, aiforgood.itu.int and AI Machine Learning 5 Challenge. And central platform is, as you can see in this slide. So, try to conclude my speech. I believe this is time to move the needle. Even this needle to move enough to move K digital hope. So I wish to invite you again, this AI for Good. So my sincere thanks to TTA. Allow me to introduce ITU's AI activities. So I hope this year GISC also reach greater success. Thank you very much. All the best for this event.
예, 그 이재섭 국장님의 기조강연 말씀 잘 들었습니다. 이재섭 국장님은 내년 10월 그 ITU 정권회의에서 ITU 사무차장으로 또 입후보하셨습니다. 모쪼록 내년 선거에서 좋은 소식 있기를 기대하겠습니다. 이것으로 기조 세션 2 발표를 모두 마치도록 하겠습니다. 고맙습니다.